Welcome back to Pop Culture Roll Call, the show where our hosts are watching The Magicians by only viewing the scenes that their character is present for. This is the Season 1 Wrap-Up.
Welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture Roll Call. I'm your host, Mike. To the left of me, as always.
It's Dasha.
In front of me, as always.
It's Colin. I watch everything from the point of view of Elliot, as always.
Right here, right now.
It's Brian.
Creeping background often.
Producer James.
I figured at this point, you kind of know who we are for the season.
It's a wrap-up.
It's
If
a
this is your
wrap-up.
first episode, it'd be a weird one to join.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
If you just went to the wrap up and not the others, you're a little sick
Well,
little
what if
freak.
somebody finds a podcast and they're like, let's see what they thought about the season before I dedicate myself to listening to them
Well,
do the whole thing.
if
I guess
Yours-
it would be weirder to start like season 2, episode 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
Yeah.
People are like, I love this show, and if they hate it, I don't want to listen to it. So I'm going to go to the wrap up and make sure that the vibes aren't wrong.
Well, if you're a sick little freak,
hey, little
I watch
freak.
as Penny.
I watch as Margot.
I watch Quentin.
And you know Colin.
I do. I am a creature of habit.
We are a people for the sick little freaks and for the non-sick little freaks.
You missed somebody, right? Did James announce himself?
He's just-
I announced myself.
Oh,
I
I
don't
missed
watch.
that.
I don't watch
He's
as
just-
anyone.
He's
I
just
blacked out.
omnipotent.
Bro, I don't. I would interrupt. Don't worry.
James is going to be talking a decent amount this week because during the wrap up, we have some questions, we have some prompts, we got to chat. We got to chat about the whole season 1 of The Magicians
Thoughts
from
and
the
feelings.
Bread. Thoughts and feelings.
Thoughts
Thoughts
and
and
feelings.
prayers.
We're not going to start with thoughts and feelings though.
Oh,
Because
what are we starting with?
I do love. Before we get into that, I want a little moose boosh here. What is your favorite moment / episode, one or the other, of the first season of The Magicians?
It's very easy.
Yeah.
It's very easy. When Elliot is being dumb because he ate too many magic carrots.
LSD carrot? No, acid carrots.
Acid carrots.
Yeah.
And he's about to get attacked by the battle magician. And Margot just turns around and pulls out a gun and just shoots that guy.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
so
you,
funny.
Margot.
So, it is so funny. It was set up well too because like she mentions it like episodes beforehand. Like
for
why
sure.
can't we just bring a gun? And then you have Quentin being a loser about it, and it like is perfect because it shows that she heard exactly what he said and did not care at all. And it was just
This also
Perfect.
feels like a thing you would say in an episode. It'd be like, why don't we bring a gun?
Let's
it's
just
just
bring a gun.
practicality.
Right.
Like I don't like.
You're going into a super dangerous, unknown situation where magic is not always 100% reliable.
Yeah, and like, listen, I don't carry a gun on my day to day, but I'm also not going to literally fight somebody that seems like they can teleport almost anywhere they want and is way stronger and like
Has
is-
henchmen or just
Yeah.
people as,
and it
as
turns out
mobs.
they're all vulnerable to guns. So
Yeah.
it seems like it is something you
That's
should
when you would
bring.
need if you're gonna go just pick up soup. Don't need a gun.
Here's my
Right.
thing. Before you go into a final boss encounter, you look through your armory and you find what does the highest damage dice. Like
Yes.
what does the most damage. And if you're in your house and you have a gun, it doesn't really matter what else is in your house.
It's
really doesn't.
38d6.
yeah, it's like nothing else is going to come close. Like,
I don't
oh,
know
well,
if that's
I'm more
true. If you sabotage your like water heater, that
but
would
you can't
probably
take
do
that with you.
Sure,
not
but like, it does
portable.
the
Yeah.
most damage.
That's true. I mean, look,
Also-
bombs are also a good idea.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for melee and ranged.
Melee and range.
Yeah,
for sure.
so like Molotov. I mean, I'm sure she had some liquor on her, so I feel like that was an option.
I
It
feel
was
like
just
she's
not
less
that
likely.
we weren't
She's
there
less
yet.
likely to waste alcohol than shoot a person.
But that's not even like you need burst damage whenever you're taking out like
Yes.
dangerous NPCs. You throw a Molotov, you're gonna do like what 4d4 fire damage a turn over like 3 turns.
Where did you get a gun from?
Where do you think?
We're in America, bro.
I'm just saying, like,
Where
if you
don't you? The vending machine.
because if you procured it through magical means, why didn't you get a grenade?
I don't think I procured it
That's
through
a
this
second.
magical
It's a
You
third
means.
think you
level.
just bought it?
I feel like Margot just bought a gun.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like I probably went to whoever I buy drugs from and was like, "Do you know somebody who could sell me a gun?" And he's like, "I probably don't, but I do know
I can
somebody."
find somebody who can sell you a gun.
I think if it was as easy to find a grenade in America as a gun, we'd have a lot more grenade problems.
And here's also the thing.
That is true.
I will also throw this out there. I am not. People shouldn't just carry guns around to situations they think are dangerous. This is all jokes. This is
This is a
jokes.
joke.
Does this apply to
This
grenades
is
as well?
jokes. We're
Should we have like a
jokes.
big banner?
Does this apply to
is a
grenades
joke.
as well?
No, but what I want to say about
It
grenades
doesn't
is
apply to grenades. We're okay with grenades.
well, with grenades, there is a different danger. Like guns are dangerous, but for the most part, you point it away from you and you can't kill yourself with it.
That
Grenades just throw shrapnel in a 360 fucking degree.
That is very
Right.
true.
Listen, I'm gonna go old school. if you got to start a problem with someone, if you got to finish a problem, you got fists. And you know what happens when you're done with your fists? Just walk away. Just walk away.
I
get
feel like
concussed,
that is
maybe.
so man coded. It's
Yeah.
not funny.
Yeah, right.
Mike's gonna walk up with 2 broken hands.
Mike's also like the biggest of us
biggest
all too.
man,
Like the
like,
biggest
yeah.
man of us
Like,
all.
okay,
Like just
sure.
physically.
When was the last time you were in a fight? Have you ever been in a fight?
Yeah, more than
Okay.
15 years.
Is this one of the questions that we got? When was the
minute-
last time you
the
were?
minute
It's the
my
top one.
beard came in, the likelihood of a fight drastically dropped.
I do feel like this couch is split into halves of 2 people who have gotten in a fight and 2 people who have not gotten
Yeah.
into a fight.
And like, it's not even a
I'm
height thing.
I'm
It's like
included
you
on
look
this
at her
side,
like,
don't worry.
no, I'm not gonna try it. But it's like, listen, you're talking about we're in a violent interaction.
Yes, this is different.
Don't bring
Yeah,
a gun.
no, you do what I
got
do is you
these.
curl up on the floor and be like, I'm just a little guy. It's my birthday. I'm
No,
just a
no,
little
no.
guy. And they don't punch you.
It doesn't even get to this point. This is like happened. A fight did not occur, but there was a moment somebody wanted to start something with Brian, and then I like got
That's
up.
your defense. You're bringing guns. They're not. You're bringing fists. They're just not yours. Also, let me see the interview with the detective after the fight. So let me get this straight. You laid down and said, "Don't hit me. I'm just a little guy."
It's my birthday.
It's my birthday,
birthday.
sir. Is it your birthday? No. Okay, and you're also not a little guy. So how'd that work?
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're about to go into a boss battle, you bring what you can, and
Yeah.
you're not going to be picky about it.
Yeah.
Says the person who never uses health potions in boss battles.
Because I didn't need them, but they're there if I had them.
There's everyone in this house is the worst type of RPG player.
Yes.
You beat the entire game, and then you just look at your inventory, your backpack full of unique items with special benefits and high damage.
in
Like,
both, like,
never needed those.
In
Fuck.
both games and at the table, I have a real problem with. I'm gonna save that for the big boss battle.
Thankfully,
and
in-
then never need it.
in the Magicians, they took away all our health potions in episode 1, so
Yeah.
They
we don't have
did.
that problem.
Okay, so what? I understand that
scene. So we got
Margot's
guns.
moment is the best,
Yeah,
but like,
Margot
what
moment
else
is
do you
good.
guys have to bring to the table?
So there's two episodes that stand out. One's more of a moment. The other one's the episode.
How about this, Mike? Pick one.
Ooh. He hates doing
I
that.
know.
It's his
We can go
least
back to
favorite
you.
thing.
Okay, I think my favorite episode was a recent one because I think it was the first time where I felt like the guy in charge, and it was post everyone fucking, like post
Yeah.
the 3-way.
When
I
you
felt
had
like
no idea what was happening.
I have no idea what's going on, and I feel like I'm the only person in the room that's rational, and just kind of like taking charge. And it's also like, I think it's the same episode where him and Alice just start like being real friends with each
And
other.
having sex? Yeah.
yeah,
No, that was
real
the following.
friends.
That was the following.
No,
No.
that was
Nope,
literally
that's
30
literally
the next
seconds
literally
into
the
the
same one.
episode.
Very-
You looked and said, "Did you have a bad day?" And she goes, "Yeah." I'd be like, "Well," and next thing you know, you were fucking.
Because they did it at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
You found out the next
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah.
and then yeah.
But regardless of
Right.
that,
Sure.
I think it's one him just feeling like the most grounded, separated from his problems, and suck it, Quentin.
Suck it.
Him losing his hands though, jaw dropping moment.
Pretty crazy.
Oh,
See,
for sure.
Jaw
you know
dropping
how he
moment.
did both?
Yeah, I
you
saw
see
it.
how he did
Yeah,
both?
I saw it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Teacher.
One demerit.
Don't hit me. I'm just a little guy, and it's almost my birthday.
Speaking of using hands, I think my favorite was when Joe, the traveling sex magician or whatever,
It's a wild
was. It wasn't anything he did other than like the background shots of him like doing hand stuff and Quentin taking notes and like working on their sex
That's
magic
pretty
together.
funny.
That stuff was so funny to
The
me.
show is so horny.
It is
It's
a
like
very
weirdly
show.
horny.
It's more horny than Buffy was, and that's saying a lot.
It is.
It's
and
targeting
that
an
is
older
saying a lot.
audience than Buffy did.
That's
I think.
true. That's true.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Maybe I mean there are some episodes of like Angel that ended up getting about as horny because that's a
Yeah.
little bit of an older show too.
But then it was like just gross.
But
it
also,
wasn't even.
that was also
Angel
just
was
Yeah.
weird.
that was also just episodes. This is like every episode.
Every joke is a sex joke.
Oh
it
yeah,
feels. Like every
It's-
joke's a dick joke.
Yeah, a
Like,
little bit, maybe a little bit too much horny, but yeah, not in an awful way, but it's a
No,
lot.
it definitely in a dated way.
Yeah, definitely. In a
Everyone's
dated way.
bonging.
Yeah.
Dated way?
Yeah. It feels really dated to me. This kind
That's
of
only
like
because
humor.
nobody puts in sex scenes into their shows anymore.
Well, that's okay. We'll talk about Gen Z later, but I will say that these kinds of
I
jokes.
just heard the comments get lit. Just heard it.
Get in the comments. Don't worry about it.
But I will say that like the show, I mentioned it earlier, the humor in it reads to me like it's so millennial coded. It's so Jackass the movie, you know what I mean? Like that whole series, like it feels like Bam Margera, like, but we are slightly older.
That's a fucking name.
That's a reach, I think.
I do
but-
not think so. And not that like this show is Jackass, but it's a show populated by people who've watched Jackass. Does this make sense? Because I feel
Kind
like
of.
this is true.
But I feel like you're like, hey, remember that scene when Penny drove a golf cart off? Like,
No, I don't mean like the actions or whatever, but I feel like that humor that people like. I feel like the people who wrote the show marinated in that same reality that unfortunately I lived through. So like that's
Okay.
that's how I read. I am not a fan of this. I'm sorry. It's true. Surprise. Like
Not surprised.
I saw those movies in theaters.
yeah, I'm sure you did. This is a couch of 3 boys. I'm sure.
That is sexism.
Men?
Men.
In all fairness, though, Colin is a father. I would call him a man.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say
Okay.
Colin as a boy. I was
so-
like, okay.
No.
3 men, but who were boys at the time that
Yes,
that film
for
came
sure.
out.
Thank you. I'll cede the
Oh,
floor.
wait, we didn't see this last month's re-release?
Oh, fuck.
Did they re-release?
No.
No. Boo. My favorite one. Mine's not nearly as funny, but
Doesn't have to be
I
funny.
was just going to ask
It's
if
not
you were
gonna be
sober
funny.
for your moment, and because it's probably not.
well, no. Well,
Colin
actually,
or Elliot?
I do think, legitimately, my favorite moment is the last time Elliot was sober. Is the episode where we get him interact, and now I'm gonna forget his fucking name, which is the worst. I forgot the name of my boyfriend I shot.
Mike.
I didn't shoot him. I broke his neck. Anyway, it doesn't matter because it wasn't
brought
really
your fist
about
to the
Mike.
fight.
It wasn't about Mike. It was about learning more about what makes Elliot Elliot. I really enjoyed what the show did as far as bringing up that Elliot's persona is manufactured, because I think
Yeah.
we all got that sense. I called it out from like the rip in the episode 1, scene 1, right when he sat down on the couch, of like Elliot presents himself to Quentin whenever Quentin approaches the school as this like sexual woodland nymph, like
Yeah.
Pan character. Like it is a man, and to me I was like, oh, the show is all like this, and it kind of is. Like the show's a little bit heightened, like you said, it's a little jackassy, it's a little bit goofy, but Elliot's character specifically, I think, gave me, because I was only watching Elliot scenes, gave me a little bit of a false sense on how like cartoonish and how manufactured and sort of like pre-written the characters are, because I think it's more Elliot than it's anybody else. Like he is somebody who, when he wakes up in the morning, I feel like he not only gets his like hair corrected, washes his face, and like does all of his stuff, but he also gets himself into a headspace that maybe isn't entirely authentic. And that's what pushes into whenever he starts crumbling, he doesn't have anything to fall back on. He doesn't have a strong sense of self, I don't think. So whenever his reality and his world starts to kind of fall apart and he can't put it back together, the foundation is flimsy, and the only thing he has to back up on is like his one friend in Margot, and that relationship is a little bit fraught, and this leads to this spiral that we find Elliot in at the end of the season. I think it was a really good turning point moment that made a lot of sense for the character. And I just like that episode as a whole. I like the dinner scene that he put on. I liked him opening up to Mike and being honest about it, about coming, and not only as an Indiana boy, like loving that idea of like the Indiana boy moved to the big city kind of deal, like one that like hits a little close to home for me. Not that I think I have the same like manufactured persona of elegance that he has, but I do respect the idea that you can go from like a small nowhere town and become part of a more sort of like moving and shaking like cultural metropolitan kind of vibe. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was smart and well written and made a lot of sense for his character. So,
Anything else, sir?
Well,
but then a second thing that also was good.
was the wedding. No, I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's the lamest thing in the whole show. Took like 30 seconds.
Let's go ahead and do a couple of questions. Feel free to pepper in any thoughts on the show you might have, but
Well, I do, before we
Anna
get
will.
into questions, I do feel like I hate to bring the mood down.
bring the mood down, please.
But so, like, I'm not gonna say as a whole whether or not I liked it. I think we should say that to the end. But like, the last episode, I feel like we didn't really talk about how heavy. Like, there were 2 episodes I feel like were super heavy.
Yeah.
For this season. The first one is when you find out that Christopher Plover is a pedophile, and it's horrible.
The haunted house episode.
The haunted house episode. And then the second heaviest episode, from our perspective, given that there are probably other things that are going on that we don't know about, is the last one. But none of us actually saw the scene from the show where, like, you have a character that is raped by a god. Like, and I so far feel like okay. Like, I feel like I've given the show a little bit of credit where I'm like, I don't, like, these are really heavy topics, but I don't feel like they've failed to, I mean, the last one is very recent, but, like, at least from the haunted house episode, it seems like we're moving in that direction still, and I'm still feeling like I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt to continue this kind of storylines.
They haven't been totally ham-fisted with their approach to these serious topics.
Yeah.
I would agree.
The Martin stuff, I'm still nervous about.
Yeah, me
because
too.
they're not doing victim blaming because it's like after the fact. It's like, oh, this guy was damaged from this, and now he's like irredeemable. Like, we'll see where they go with that story.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's kind of my biggest red flag that's still up in the air, at least. And I don't think any of us know enough about the Julia storyline to know, like, even what has happened there, let alone what will.
Yeah.
So
I would agree. Martin's the beast's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get all these side names. Martin and then Christopher Plover. Okay, cool. But yeah, I would agree the Martin stuff is, while I love the stage called shot, because it was a smartly called shot and it worked out perfectly in the next episode. Like, it was a good capitulation of, like, what this show is, like, the pop culture roll calls that are like mythos and how we interact with the world and how information is imparted to us. I would agree, though. I need them to not just do he was a, and damn it, and again, like, I don't like that the show puts you in a position where you have to, like, make words. I'm gonna do my best here. I don't like the idea that the show says that a child who was traumatized and abused then, like, became an abuser. Like, I understand that the cycle of abuse is, like, a pretty common, like,
hurt people.
Yeah, like that, and I don't think that's. I don't think that's necessarily, like, wrong, and I agree that in shows and in TV and media sometimes you have to, like, take something that's, like, you know, there's tons of examples where this isn't the case, but it is a common enough, like, through line culturally that you can fall back on it and, like, elevate it to the nth degree, and everyone kind of understands what you're doing here. It's a good shared conversation.
You're generalizing,
Yeah.
but, like, and with all the pros and cons that come with that, effectively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just want them, but I guess what I'm saying with that is, yes, I guess what I'm saying with that is, if they just do that, it's not going to make me be like, they fucked this whole thing up. But I do hope that there is another, like, gotcha, like, cog there that isn't
more
just
level to it.
There's one. I hope they do one other thing with it. They change
don't.
the conversational. You think it should just be the hurt people?
No, I think they need to, like, just take it on its face and dive into it, as opposed to being like, well, there's another twist. You know, my biggest concern going forward is that they're doing the same story with two different characters.
I was thinking that too.
Because it's like, oh, the two main villains now are the two sexual assault victims,
Yeah.
and it's like,
I was thinking about
okay, like, what are we doing here? And if the twist is like, oh, there's another thing going on here, that has the potential to be better, but in the way I want them to do it, it could go horribly wrong if they are not equipped to handle it. But if they, like, really, like, flex their writing chops and do a good job of nailing this story, I think that just playing it straight and saying, like, here's, you know, what happened to these people, and here's how they can, you know, atone and change and grow as people, that's probably the best version of this for me personally, like, going forward.
Because it feels like, so Martin was the victim.
Yeah.
And then his response to everything is burn it all down.
Well, I think
And-
his response, just to clarify, from what I get, and I don't know, this is me also asking the
Because we haven't seen
we haven't seen
No.
everything, but my read is that So Martin finds a way to go into Fillory and comes back with a bunch of stories. Martin and all the kids, they go to Fillory. They find this magical fantasy land. They come back. They tell Christopher Plover. Christopher Plover's an abuser. He takes that thing from them, their special place, and he puts it down into
takes
books.
like their innocence.
Literally takes their innocence, writes it down into a book, and manufactures it and sells it, and uses that money and that fame and that power to elevate his station as an abuser and sort of like revel in his fantasy as a monster. But then Martin is locked out of going back to Fillory.
Yes.
Yeah.
He can't
but
go
not by Christopher, by Ember and Umber.
by
Right.
Ember and Umber for a reason that I can't do we know?
I don't think we
I
know.
don't think
We
we
don't
know.
I don't think we
No.
know. But then Martin wants to go back to his like the thing that was his and his like brothers and sisters, their escape from the monster.
Yeah.
Like in his life, the Christopher Plover.
Protection.
Yeah. And he ends up getting like a sixth finger on a hand that is there's like some extra magical ability, and he ends up making his way back to Fillory. And in Fillory, he locates the source of all magic and builds or manufactures a replica of Christopher Plover's workspace
Yep.
where he was abused, and puts it around the source of all magic, and then imbibes in it aggressively to the point where it corrupts him.
And also captures and tortures Plover as well along the way.
Yes, and kills either Ember or Umber. Kills one of the two gods too. Right?
Theoretically
Umber.
kills Umber.
Theoretically
Umber's dead,
kills
yeah.
Umber too.
Yeah.
Who was one of the gods who kept him from coming back and
Correct.
escaping his abuser.
and could be the blame of you left me there
Yeah, I mean,
to,
there-
to suffer.
it's
could be a lot of
potentially it could be malice, but it could be the opposite of malice. Like we
Yeah.
just don't have enough. We don't know
Yeah.
enough about his motivations. Really.
For sure.
Yeah.
I just wanted to set the groundwork on what that story. I think that's
We
what I
needed that.
understand it.
I think so,
just-
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my understanding of it. Because I do think it's not interesting. It's sad. It's a lot of things. It's interesting is one of them. I don't think the source of all magic always manifested itself in Christopher Plover as Christopher Plover's like workroom.
No, definitely. That was definitely
That
That
was
is- that is
that was
a
a
projection.
Martin's thing.
Yeah.
There is this. And again, I don't know enough other than I find it interesting that they wrote it this way, that inside the world of Fillory, that is Martin's escape, that he goes back to and then like kind of
Creates-
subjugates in a way. He like dominates the world of Fillory off of his experience from being abused and dominated by Christopher Plover, but then also the source of all magic and power in that world, he makes it the space where his power was taken from
He
him.
escapes his own hell
Yeah.
and then creates his own personal version of it in
Where
heaven.
he's the
Yeah.
he's the monster,
Yeah.
where he has all the power, and then brings his abuser into that space, and then abuses him there.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like
It's
there's a lot of
retaking
folding to
control.
it. It is. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to derail us. I just wanted to make sure before we talk too much about the show that I had that right, and I feel like that is where we're at.
It is hard for this complex of a through line when you don't have all the scenes.
Yeah, it's a hard one, but I don't think it's unmanageable. It's not like Orphan Black, where I felt like we
No.
just couldn't grok it.
Well, I
like
think-
it just
I think-
it wasn't possible.
I had no idea
I
what was
think with
going
Orphan
on.
Black, it was more of a
No
like logistical,
Yeah.
like hurdle of like figuring out all the pieces. And here, there's so much key information that plays into the mind frame and suffering of these people.
But there's so many fewer characters, which is
True.
what makes it. I think it makes it doable.
I don't
True.
know if there are fewer. I maybe they're just
Or
more
factions, maybe.
Yeah,
That was the
Orphan Black
thing.
was complicated with the factions, and then there'd be other factions having their own side show that
Yeah.
like we were just totally missing that context. And then, this
Mm-hmm.
show is a little bit more grounded. Weirdly, the show about magic
Yeah.
versus science is actually weirdly more grounded.
odd, weird.
I think I had originally derailed us when we were talking about the like multiple characters having the same arc, and now we have this like Julia was like raped by a god,
Yeah.
which I don't know like what to say about it other than that was like a wild third
Out of nowhere.
act
Yeah.
sort of,
Yeah, I
like
mean-
drop.
I think the way on its face where they're going with that is it's a revenge story
Yeah.
where she is using the evil power to enact her revenge.
For sure.
And
Which is basically really similar to what we just talked about for
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
Martin could relate in a way of like, oh, you now know what I know, and
They are similar. I wonder.
they're similar,
That's
but Martin
interesting.
like
but like they're not
has
the same. Yeah.
he has Plover captive and is
Oh, no,
torturing them,
but
and
I-
he's doing all the rest of this stuff for an unknown
Yeah,
reason.
there is
at
a
this
different
point.
question of why.
Yeah.
but it's more so of him seeing someone else who was abused.
We don't know if he's capable of that. Like
Fair.
truly, like
Yeah.
we've had other people in the show. Now, whether they're correct is a different thing. But like say that like, oh no, Christopher Plover said, so definitely take it with a gigantic
Yeah.
grain of salt. But he does say like all of his humanity has been lost into the well.
Right.
Like he's not human anymore. Now, this is somebody who's like
I've seen Star
practiced in
Wars.
dehumanization. So like whatever. Like you know what I mean?
source to go to.
Absolutely, but like it's still a television show.
Yeah.
And they are still imparting things to us, whether or not we love their vectors sometimes. So like something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
He could be lying or could be wrong, but
Yeah.
All
I don't
right.
know. I don't know what to do
I don't
with
know.
that.
I don't know.
Well, let's start with some questions.
Mhm.
And I
love
think we
that.
have the first question was the earliest question, and I think is the perfect question to clean the palate. This one comes from Mike.
Not I.
Oh.
What Monsters Inc. character would each of us be? It is from you.
Monsters Inc.
Did you send this? in?
Mike
Oh, this
wanted to end an episode, didn't want to end an episode, and instead goes, what would each of our characters be if they were Monsters Inc. characters? And I said no. So here you go, Mike.
It is Mike.
What do you want? What's your answer? You've
Now,
had,
is it our
you've
character?
had
Our characters and the magicians are Monsters Inc. characters, or what would
Or
they
us
be in the
personally,
world?
or both.
Why are you asking me? You asked
Sorry.
the question, bro.
I think our characters.
Yeah, I think you're
Okay,
You've
so
had 10
who would
weeks to think about
Who
this.
would your character be?
All right, you know
In
that
Monsters
one.
Inc.
so convoluted, and this
This
is
is
absolutely
so
what you were
hard.
asking
You
because
know-
this is only you would ask this.
You know that one character, that one monster on the scare floor who like gets beat up every time he goes into the thing.
yeah.
He's wearing like the
Oh
collar.
my god, why
gets
is
the
that
sock
so
on his back.
accurate?
the one with the
That's-
sock on his back.
Yeah,
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 the
yeah.
sock-
Yes.
That's you.
That's Quentin.
You're not wrong.
No.
Code 9, and they just tackle him again.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that's
it's
Quentin.
so funny.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think is Elliot the little girl.
Boo.
Boo. Is
I
Elliot
honestly
Boo?
think that's a pretty good read.
I don't know who else Elliot.
I think
Would
Margot is going to be
be-
that lady at the front desk that just hates Mike
Oh,
Wazowski.
Roz.
Roz. I mean, I know that's not her vibe. Like she's got more. She's like a
Quentin
mix
and
of
Penny.
like Mike Wazowski's girlfriend and Roz, but like she would never. Margot would never dake Mike Wazowski, so she can't actually be the girlfriend. So it's
I
like
could
those two
see Elliot
characters
being
blended.
Mike's girlfriend, Schmoopsy Poo. I could see that.
Who?
Mike Wazowski's girlfriend. I think it's Schmoopsy Poo.
with the little snakes.
Yeah.
Who do you think would be that character?
Elliot.
Elliot?
Oh, maybe I don't remember
Actually,
Schmoopsy Poo.
yes. Actually,
Am I
yes.
Schmoopsy Poo material?
Yeah, she's like nice, she's
but
cute.
Then, but
Okay,
then just
cool.
like Schmoopsy Poo, he's got to kill Mike.
Anyway, what about your character?
Penny, man, he's a talker. He doesn't got Sully energy. I think he's, man, is he Randall?
He's Mike
kind of
Wazowski
Randall.
or
He's
Randall?
He's
Yeah.
a less
'Cause
evil Randall.
Randall's not really a villain. He kind of is.
I want to hear this take about why Randall from Monsters Inc., the very serious villain, well, the second tier
This is the
villain,
thumbnail.
there is the bigger
Right.
villain is capitalism.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
it's the head monster guy. The
Yeah,
old
Yeah,
guy's
but,
yes,
name I
it's,
don't
but
know.
sir.
it's capitalism.
Yeah.
Hello.
Capitalism.
Yes, hold on. Do you remember what that man represented in the movie Monsters Inc.?
Yeah, America. I mean capitalism. I mean same thing.
1%.
Just checking.
What?
What?
Captain of Industry. What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Big monster.
It's mostly because Randall's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
The powers are sick.
He's got Riz.
I mean,
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
yeah.
No, Randall has some riz.
Randall's got Riz.
This is so funny.
Constantly mewing.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you remembered this, James.
Randall's
Here's the thing.
mewing.
For
Mike
as
wrote it in the-
convoluted as this fucking question was, within a minute we fucking knew.
We did know.
All right, next
and then
question.
you'd be big business.
Me?
Or big monster. You'd
I'm
be big
I am Pixar.
Yes,
I
that's
think so.
true. You're the lamp.
You're the lamp?
Yeah. Sure. I got big lamp energy because I'm bright.
We got it over there.
Fucking
A Pixar lamp.
The next question comes from Max
What up, Max?
Drickson.
Hey.
Hey.
Great as always to see you.
how do you feel about the idea of the main character of the show not being the big hero?
You know what? Fucking kudos, man. The balls to make your main character kind of fucking awful.
It is playing on hard mode.
Yeah, it is. You're like, oh, brand new video game? What's this? Legendary mode? Let's do that.
Somebody was talking about how in the book he's more
He's
annoying
worse?
because
How?
it's told from first person
Yes.
perspective.
Oh, God.
And you get a taste of that in the most recent episode because he's narrating the whole episode.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's
oh, I get it now.
Do you see how I didn't finish the book? And then when someone asked me, do you know anything about the magicians? I was like, no, never heard of it. Had read part of it already.
I like it. I mean, it is a bold choice to make what is supposed to be like the main person you're following just insufferable.
Yeah.
But then you rely on the supporting cast to really be what you're like, what
Yeah.
keeps you there.
Yeah.
And Quentin has they do give Quentin, I think, enough redeeming qualities that he's not a it's watching him is not vile.
No.
It doesn't
Yes.
make me it doesn't make me like cringe away.
No, you just go,
some of the
"Oh,
stuff he does
Quentin."
is cringy, but it's not like every time he's on scene, my initial reaction isn't like, God, fuck that guy. He does stuff where I say fuck that guy, but then
Yeah.
later on I kind of forget that I
Yes,
said
you do,
fuck
'cause
that
he's-
guy.
Because he's so... Because he's just a little guy.
Yeah, he's just a little guy. It's his
Not even
birthday.
his birthday.
There's a reason I always compare him to like episode 4 Luke Skywalker. It's like there's room for growth here. He's just annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
He's
like,
just
nothing-
kind of a
Nice.
loser.
And there's also nothing to be said that he isn't the hero by the end.
Yeah,
too.
Because that's that's the thing is he has the biggest zero to hero path. Like
That's a big bag.
because if we end up with this show of like him being the likable hero
Yeah.
He's
and
not.
like has
What
gone
if
the
Neville
hero journey.
Longbottom was the main character of Harry Potter?
How dare... Okay, I'm not even going to...
How dare you?
I'm not even going to go there. But I will say...
Is this Neville?
I
Harris
do
thing?
not think he's going to be likable at the end. I don't think that's the story they're telling.
Take a
I
screenshot
really don't.
of that moment because it could be wrong.
I also
Okay,
don't think
go
so.
ahead.
I think that's just his character.
Yeah.
And I do I also I didn't like it for a while, but once I realized that they all like the show also thought Quentin was insufferable, it made it easier.
it definitely does.
I thought
yeah.
for a while they were trying to sell us on Quentin,
He's great, right?
and that kind of irked me.
Yeah.
But once I did the show fully, because the show was all about characters' faults. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we are dealing with a motley crew of faulted individuals, which is just all characters and all screen. Like, okay, I'm not gonna get on a soapbox
Yeah.
about TV and movies right now, but like your characters should have noticeable faults, and they don't need to get over all of them. Like,
Yeah.
not everyone needs to be that superhero thing where it's like, oh, you got one thing that's wrong with you, and before the end of this movie,
fixed
we're
it.
gonna solve it.
Yeah.
It's like, just make them dysfunctional, messy humans.
Yeah.
And Quentin is the quintessential messy, kind of fucked up, not like evil, just kind of awkward dude.
Yeah.
Too Quinn
And
for
it's
his own
fine.
good.
I'm fine with that, as long as they know what they're doing.
I don't usually like protagonists like this. I didn't read this book very much further than the murder with the extra book or whatever. That was basically as far as I
yeah.
got.
The
Someone's gonna
opening
tell me
scene, the
it's
first
like
episode of
five.
the show.
It's like 5 pages.
I think that's the first chapter. Yeah.
But like, so I didn't make it through the book on this, but I will say that I think because the television show has the benefit of taking the viewpoint of he is a loser,
Yeah.
that it is easier than the book because the book is in first person or it's like told from the inside of his head. So like, it doesn't have the benefit. You believe what Quentin believes, right? Like, because that's how that works. But like for the show, you can you can be like, oh yeah, the show also thinks that he sucks, which is like gives you a little bit of like you can still buy into the other characters. I think it's like really well done. I'm actually surprised how much I like this, considering we've watched a lot of stuff with people with main characters that I really do not like, and I'm like, this is not a fun and enjoyable watch for me. And I know that I'm pretty sensitive to that. I do that a lot, but this show so far, I have not been dreading it. I'm like, no, this is fine. I'm like interested still.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's like kudos, honestly.
And kudos for Brian for only getting to see the Quentin jet. We
Yo.
get breaks.
I think that's also part
I
of
get
it.
a
I
break.
get the best parts of this
I
show.
No.
You do.
This guy.
Mine gets a good stuff. Brian never gets a break, other than whenever you're in a scene and you're not talking.
Yeah.
That's
I
like the
get
only
ice
break
cream
that I get.
every week, and you either get like okay, like prepped green beans, or like you get frozen green beans that went bad somehow 13 years ago.
Do you think this is why there are so many characters?
Maybe just
Yeah.
to give us
Just
breathers.
to give the breathers?
Yeah, maybe. Because there's not also. No, I was gonna say that. I do think every character has aspects of them that kind of suck too, and are a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah,
insufferable. It is nice that it isn't just Quentin.
We're all fucked
as
Yeah.
up.
well. We're not all just punching down at Quentin.
Yeah.
Like,
Every character in the show annoys me at one moment. or
Oh, yeah,
another.
like
maybe
Elliot-
the least of all is Margot, but even then,
Yeah.
like,
Sometimes I'm
For every
yeah.
like down punch we give someone, we get uppercutted by another person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I also kind of felt like Elliot was kind of getting more on my nerves in the last couple episodes than
oh,
even
for
Quentin
sure.
was.
Yeah. He's yeah.
That's
Gotta
kind of
put the carrots down.
I feel like that kind of goes back to what we're saying about like the villains being these like, you know, potentially good people who had bad things happen to them. The show is trying to take a nuanced look at every character in the show, and I think they're doing an okay job of it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too.
I would agree.
It's surprising. That means that they're doing a very good job because we're really harsh critics about this stuff.
I'll tell you when it sucks.
Well, the next question is from D.
What up, D. Dot.
If you could switch to any character for season 2, would you?
Ooh. Oh,
no,
would you?
No.
absolutely not.
Not a fucking chance,
no
Brian.
way.
Yeah, I probably. would.
Brian says yeah. Brian
I'll
says
say
yeah.
all
I don't
all
know.
characters were on the table. Who would you switch to?
All characters were on the
better
table.
Part of it's like I would stay just because I'm seeing so much of the show that it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
enjoyable. Like you know, if I switch to somebody who doesn't have much screen time, I'm like, well, what am I even doing here, right?
Like that Josh guy.
I think there's interesting stuff happening with Julia that nobody's seeing.
Yeah, I think Julia is really
I
interesting.
wish that somebody on this couch would say switch to Julia, but I do not want to do that.
But if she's going to be the villain, we've never had anybody
Yeah.
watch as a villain.
I
Yeah,
will
before.
say,
fair enough.
I would. I mean, like Julia and also the Beast. Like I would be. I mean, that would be the only thing I would switch to. I'd watch a villain edit.
Yeah.
I'm down for
Yeah.
that. That actually kind of sounds fun.
Yeah, the year we do a villain in the room.
We should do that for Halloween.
Yeah, but the problem is you don't get villain
Villain-only
like,
movie?
You get every third episode, you have 2 minutes. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you have the nostalgia schedule sometimes.
someone is still better.
I'm talking about.
I don't think I would switch off of Elliot. Not a. I don't know. Elliot's got one of the best, in my opinion. I think Elliot has one of the best like setups for what his season 2 is gonna be. I think there was like times in the season where I would have like been fine with like moving over to another character and seeing another perspective or something. But what they've done in the last couple episodes and making him I think that they fumbled Elliot's like break into season 2 a bit with the wedding and with him just like, I'm going cold turkey. This is my calling. I thought that was a little
Yeah.
meh. It was kind of underwritten. And I wish it was a little bit more for how much setup. I talked about that in the episode though already. But that all said, I like the idea that one, he has like this royal bloodline, that he's going to probably be some kind of like tie for the group into the Fillory location, like maybe has some kind of like sway and is able to kind of like help us in a way that we just don't have access in Fillory and between these magical worlds now. Like I'm hoping, and I think that he could be fun in reveling in having power, but will not be a maniacal dictator like bastard. I think he could have a lot of fun having a lot of wealth and power and not be asshole
You might go
about it.
full hedonism bot though.
I might, but that's what I'm kind of interested in. Like
Yeah.
there's a world where he goes full hedonism bot, and there's a world where he goes like full regal ruler, and there's a pretty big spectrum there that's also super believable. So I
Yeah.
really don't know what he's gonna be for this world, which is kind of interesting.
I also have a question. Do you think it's possible that you're getting a new character next season?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I it would be really strange if this is how they wrote. It would make me feel. I already think they fumbled the ball with Elliot sort of like come off of rock bottom at the
Yeah.
end of the season. If that transitions into he's basically written off the show, I'm going to think it was not just a fumble, but like kind of egregious thing to
Okay.
do to your character.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a 0% chance that like Elliot is kind of like casually written off the show, but if that's how they give him the send off
Yeah.
and that's how short his like scenes are and how quick his flip is, I'm gonna be real kind of like iffy on that one. So I hope not.
I don't
no, it's a
necessarily
good
think
question.
that's like 100% where it's gonna go, but I was like, it's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
No, you're
Not
right.
not to play too much like inside baseball though, but if he was gonna get a different character next season, why wouldn't he have started as Alice or
Yeah,
you
you're
know
right.
maybe,
You're
yeah.
right. You're right.
right?
Wow, producer Brian coming out here.
I like how no
Well,
one
I
wanted to
think
watch
it's
this Alice.
but here's the interesting part though. Like when the show started, I'm like, I was shocked we didn't have an Alice because
Yeah.
she seemed like the number 2 character in the
Yeah.
show for the first half dozen episodes, right? And I get that there's a lot of overlap between her and Quentin's scenes.
There's a lot,
but
yeah.
and then now more her and Penny's scenes, but she doesn't. I don't know if she's going to continue to be that kind of number 2 character going forward. It seems like Penny's kind of slotting into that role in a lot of ways.
I just think there's an ebb and flow to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters.
Not because I play Penny, but Penny has felt kind of the number 2 with like Margot and Elliot kind of coming in for like these like big dramatic moments.
Yeah.
But you already saved the girl. You've learned how to teleport everybody. Where do you think you're going?
Where am I not going? I can go anywhere.
But I mean,
Without
like character.
Yeah.
your
Oh
char-
no.
You ain't got hands.
You don't got no hands, bro.
Can I get a round of applause?
I
Can I
feel
get a
like-
hand?
I
Can I
feel.
get a hand?
I feel like this is
Had a firm grip
not
on the
that
game.
like there is no character development here, but I do feel like
Katie.
I think you're gonna get pulled. Like there's gonna be a pullback on like your story a little bit. I feel like I see like there's-
Katie.
Yeah, definitely. No, I don't think. I think like your character's not done, but like I don't know. I wonder if you're gonna stay number 2.
Oh no, secret hero.
I won't anyway.
There's a question from Alopt that I had made an offhanded comment. I don't remember if it was in a wrap up or if it was on Discord at this point because I say a lot of things in a lot of places. I
We
had
know.
considered showing you guys the box art and letting you pick your character purely on vibes.
Wow, I would have loved
It would have been way too much.
That would have been a
I-
lot,
I
but it
don't-
would have been funny.
I don't have that kind of freedom to
Yes.
give you guys. But if I did, the box art is everyone you're talking about. I think there's only 8 characters on the box.
Okay.
Sure.
So it's the
Just-
4 of us, and then who are we missing?
So it's the 4 of
Alice.
you, Alice, and
Julia?
Julia,
Julia.
and Katie. And
So
then
7.
That's 7.
is that it? I have to pull up the
I
box art.
don't know who
but-
else it would necessarily be. I feel like that's got to just be this,
Yeah. Unless
So-
there's somebody we don't know.
unless there's somebody we don't know, or it's like
Are you
the
lying with
beast,
things?
like just face covered
Yeah,
in
or like a villain
moths
or
or
whatever.
something
Yeah.
Oh,
like
sorry.
that.
No, there's only 6.
That's only 7.
There's only 6 on it.
Oh,
Not
who's-
Katie.
not Katie?
No Katie.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So basically,
But Julia
between
is a
your
name.
4, Alice and Julia,
Okay.
Okay.
just
Yeah.
based on vibes,
Who would we go
who
with?
would you have picked?
Oh wow.
Would
Can-
you have picked somebody different?
I think I would have picked Alice.
I'm an old man. Enhance.
Yeah, I know that's so
Enhance?
small.
I can't help you with that.
Enhance. Enhance.
Honestly, off of this,
Not Quentin. He looks like a dork.
Where is Penny?
Well, he is a dork.
Penny's bottom.
middle?
I mean, it's tough because
He's
it is
bottom right.
for those who haven't seen the box art cover. It is it's stylized to an extent. Everyone's doing a little bit of a
Yeah.
spell thing, so it's
so
not
look
like
it up. It's on the Blu-ray box art. And
yeah, it's not a full like headshot.
You got an ad.
we got an ad. We got an ad.
I feel like I would have picked Alice. I would have been like, oh, she's like the nerdy one. I feel like I can relate. I would have picked her. I
You
think.
probably would have picked Alice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would have picked Julia. I
You
think.
probably would have regretted that choice too.
I would have absolutely
yeah.
regretted that choice. James did a better job of picking than
Well,
I
and
would
that's
have.
what I realized. I reached
I would've
out
picked Julia for
because
sure.
there's at least
Would you?
these 6
Yeah.
main characters that like I reached out quite a bit. I got some opinions of a bunch of people. I watched the whole thing taking meticulous notes,
Okay.
and this is what I ended up with.
I think you did
I
a
think it
great
makes
job.
sense.
I would have.
I
so
honestly
far
think you
with
nailed
Penny.
it.
So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes as the season goes forward.
Good shout though.
So Psyche has a question.
What up, Psych?
Hey.
Or Psyche? Might be Psyche.
Psyche. Either way, what up?
Which show has the better beast? Or the beast? The Magicians or Angel?
The Magicians. I'm sorry. I think that's just true. The
I'm trying to remember what
butterflies
the
are
beast
cool.
is in Angel.
The beast is the
Is that the one that blocks out the sun?
yeah.
That guy's boring as hell.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then we like found out he talks a bit like way
That made him
later.
way-
Oh
less
yeah, that
cool.
guy. And then then Wesley goes all Matrix on him.
Yeah.
he pull out 2 guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're the magician's the beast.
Yeah.
It
The magician,
I'm
he
sorry.
like dances into rooms. He's
Yeah,
got like
the
charisma.
He's
butterfly.
got Riz.
He's got
He's got
Riz.
Riz. That's honestly
we need
it.
that Riz.
We do. We need
Yeah.
it. The other- yeah.
The Beast and Angel was, I mean, there are points for showmanship on a global scale that the Beast had, like blacking out the sun.
You know,
That's true. That's true.
That's a resume maker.
Yeah, like he had big vibe. He was taking a swing for the fence.
I'm just
I
saying,
respect
it's like
that.
your name, your education, and like first bullet point blocked out the sun,
I mean,
and
But-
then there's
but
like
did he
a
ever-
big space, and then like Juilliard.
But did he ever rip somebody's eyes out of their head and then use them to make a smiley face with blood?
They
on
did
the
not.
desk?
See, that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
think you
These
need
the
to
little
if you
things.
block the literal sun.
I
kinda
do
boring.
think
You know who
that-
else is blocking out the sun? Capitalism, the ozone layer.
And, Mr. Burns did it first. Let's be honest.
I do think the magicians actually. I think the magicians take it. Like the Riz, you're just right. I think
Yeah.
it's cooler. I like the butterflies. I think
Yeah.
that's fun.
It is a good one.
We also are probably seeing more of the Magician's Beast than we did of
That
the Angel
is
one.
very true.
And the Angel Beast is like a big bad from a season kind of
Yeah.
thing versus like the entire show. So it's a little bit different because we're like the whole show was built around this. So, but like if it was we just watched that season of Angel, maybe it would be different. But I do think the Beast from Angel is also a little bit more like cookie cutter
Yeah.
as far as like what type of a big demon with big horns and hard skin and bad attitude. It's and like cool, does some stuff,
He
but
like I do distinctly remember him comparing him to Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
I do feel like that's what it was.
He's
and
an
that is
archetypical
cool.
monster
Like,
Totally get
Like-
that reference.
That's
on you, bro.
Thank you.
Is that All Might? Is this with the same thing?
But yeah,
the fact that we can sit here and talk about Dragon Ball Z and Futurama and he just doesn't get it.
it's insane.
Wild stuff.
Wild.
But I do know about Mr. Plow and the Plow King.
I have no
Wow,
idea what
I know
he's
what you're
talking
talking
about.
about.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's a Simpsons
that's a
I
reference.
don't like
reference.
The Simpsons. Sorry, I
Yeah.
should not have said
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
we just talked
you
about
like
Futurama.
You like
and you
Futurama.
don't like Simpsons.
So Simpsons is the first cookie you make or the first batch. Sometimes they're not quite good, but that second batch,
Okay.
Futurama.
Real quick check though for people that don't know. Are you Mr. Plow or are you the Plow King?
They literally said they don't know.
I don't know.
If you had
I'm
to
gonna
just pick off vibes.
Plow
Hey.
King.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Really fucked that one.
Anyway,
Here's a better
Wow,
question.
Colin got canceled today.
Yeah, I did.
No, this not
This
Plow
is how
King,
we get
Mr. Plow.
canceled.
Second part of this question: Buffy Bot or Margolem?
Ooh, that's a funny one. I'm gonna have to go Buffy Bot with that.
Buffy Bot.
Buffybot talks, Margolem doesn't.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buffybot was also plot integral at times.
Yeah, they're both problematic as fuck.
Oh
though.
my god, sir.
And
Yes.
they are both
Yeah.
written as problematic as
Yes,
fuck.
yes.
They're not written as fun
I'm
new
pretty
additions
sure,
to the
like,
cast.
I like punch him. Like, I think there was some sort of physical violence I enacted upon the maker of that Buffy bot. I think.
Yeah.
Who was it? Who? It was the three.
It was the
Andrew.
dorks. It was Andrew.
Dorks. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
trying to think of if that was.
Well, he made his own Buffybot and then Spike
Yeah.
put in a commission request.
There were multiple
forgot
Buffy
about that
bots
He
wandering
fucking
There were,
around.
opened up
yeah.
an evil Etsy store and was like, I'm making
Wasn't
sex
it?
bots.
No, didn't he just he made a robot of his girlfriend? Wasn't that what
Yes,
it
He
was?
made
it
a
was
robot of his
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
And then the Buffy Bot was a special request.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
So
That's
yeah,
what
that's what I said.
It was a custom order.
It was custom commission on Etsy. You know,
there was only one Buffy
7
bot.
to 8 week lead time.
Oh my god, that show was ridiculous.
I don't want
Anyway.
you getting in the comments about Buffy.
Yeah,
shit-
sorry, you're right.
the shit's only getting so much more real, and it's gonna stop being funny at some point in the very, very near future.
It's already happening.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's going to be ubiquitous and unfunny very, very soon. Now it's sort of esoteric and almost unfunny right now. But what was I going to say? The Buffy bot, I do think the big thing is the talking,
Yeah.
just the
Yes.
attitude.
Yeah.
Because Sarah Michelle Gellar selling
It's
being a
so
sex
funny.
bot of her own character is very funny. Like
Yeah.
does a good job. Not to say that the actress who plays Margot didn't do like a good job being a golem, but she just kind of sat
But Sarah
there.
Michelle Gellar, Sarah Michelle
It
Gellar.
was definitely more of a it was just a different kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
They're just sort of sitting quietly on a
Yeah.
couch. I did really like the scene of Elliot finally like coming clean to his friend after this like rock bottom spiral, only to find out that it was the golem. Like not liked, but I do think that was a good.
Yeah.
It's like everyone knew this needed to happen, and then you as the watcher also don't get that it's the golem until like 20 seconds into the scene, you get it before he does. Like it was written in a way where like, oh fuck, he just did that, didn't he?
Similarly, I like when Buffy pretends to be Buffy Bot to go talk to Spike about
Spike,
why he didn't say anything about Dawn, and she gets the answer, the truth out of him pretending to be the Buffy Bot. So like, very similar. I'm gonna pretend to be this bot and try to get info.
Yeah, it was good. Anyway,
Buffy Bot.
Buffy Bot, I think, takes that one.
Takes that. Yeah.
All right. Last questions for me.
Last question. What up, producer James?
What do you guys think of like the rules of magic in this world? Because we've seen all sorts of different fantasy and the way, because like Buffy, magic's not as integral, but it exists.
Yeah.
This one I feel like it's more a staple of this show. So like, how do you think we've dealt with magic?
I think it's fine.
It's hard to tell how much the trauma rules are universal or
Yeah.
just for the one school of magic. If they're universal, I think I like it less.
Same.
And I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I'm getting, the more that we're going to the show, the more I think that the trauma thing we latched onto kind of early as a like ubiquitous thing for magic as a whole across
But that
all
might just
universes.
be all of Earth magic.
Maybe.
Or even more specific, like the type of people that would get recruited to that school are the type of people that are channeling magic through trauma.
Yeah, maybe different schools.
Like maybe it's
or-
the chicken egg situation.
What
Like-
school of magic do you subscribe to? Trauma.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying maybe there's like a tattoo school and a sex school.
I mean, honestly, yeah. Like, and you like we're not at that school because we're following the trauma kids. So
That-
like,
The janitors for that sex school, God be with them.
which I think makes more sense, right? That's much more like similar to kind of magic as like a practice being passed down directly, like the concept of covens and that kind of stuff. It's more similar to that, where you're banding people together who have similar like
Yeah.
life.
Like they're
experiences.
already harnessing it in a certain way. Why are we going to try and teach them a different
right. Yeah.
approach?
Yeah.
Though I do feel like they need to dive into more of it, especially like I feel like there's a few areas that are still like back to our earlier conversation. There's still some red flags here about the storytelling, particularly with the hedge witches.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if they're not classically trained, they're dangerous. And like that's kind of where they've left that.
That's
And then
true.
the only thing we have since then really is, oh, they accidentally summoned a god and it went horribly wrong.
And everybody
So
died.
now it's like, okay, so it is dangerous to not go through the classic education system, and I'm hoping they kind of work with that a little bit.
Is the rule of magic in the Magicians essentially the demon conundrum, the Clem conundrum in Buffy, of like not well enough defined, it gets messy the more you think about it, and we need just some firm regulation?
I don't know. I think part of the world that they're building requires magic to be a little flexible, I think. I think you need to be surprised by what you can and you can't do. It's when you start getting to like really strict ruled magic, you lose a little bit of that like spontaneity, that like sorcerer's apprentice kinds of
wonder,
thing. Yeah. So like I do think there's like limits to that where it could be useful in the story that they're telling. But yeah, like I
would agree. I to your point, I think letting it be kind of everything at the same time is maybe a little bit of a better way to go about it versus trying to super narrow cast into it. Because then when you start setting really firm rules for something like magic, same thing with time travel, like there's these kind of things that exist in science fiction and fantasy that as soon as you start trying to make very, very clear like tangible rules for, it starts to get messy and the edges get frayed immediately, and it starts to be frustrating to think about. This idea that it's like there's tattoo magic and there's sex magic and there's trauma magic and there's also different universes and their magics from different sources, and it's like it's just this big kind of chaotic thing. Like magic exists, and because it exists, it is almost like a living thing, and because it's a living thing, it adapts and fills niches for people, and they can selectively like grow and breed certain schools of magic and like pull different things out of it and like pass it down and focus it, and like it is like this branching tree of magic that I think it makes more sense, and I like it more than this is magic and this is how magic is done.
Yeah.
I do hope they revisit the trauma stuff a little bit because it
yeah, I
still
would
sucks that the first thing that happens in the show is like we have to take your antidepressants away.
Yeah. I know that's bothering
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost feels like they don't like they wrote that and then decided to do something else with it.
Or they're just shelving that for season 2, season 3, whatever
Maybe.
it is, and like, you know, in the new Jedi Order that they establish after they burn break pills to the ground, they could be like, actually, no, you can have your pills and cast spells.
Because like the whole like you know, we wrote it and then we decided to do something different. Like, I don't know how their writing room functions, but normally like you're not writing these week by week. Like you're sitting in a room, you're breaking the main points. You then write each like episode, and then when you've like locked in the scripts, then you start filming. So it isn't like this, like, you know, we're 4 episodes in and we're taking a different path on the script. So it's either you started writing it and then just stopped caring to cover it,
Yeah.
or you're waiting for it to pay off somewhere else.
I love how the biggest Marvel fan here is like, everything's always written before they start shooting, right?
Well, this is a different.
TV and movie is very
This is
different.
a little bit. It's also a different era. Let's
Yeah.
be fair.
This is also based on a book,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
so it's hard. I mean, I
It's
haven't read.
adapting.
I've read probably about as much as Stasia has, and it was more that like I had to keep watching the show. But I don't know where they went, if it was even in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
The last thing that I want to talk about, and just because we were talking about magic in the schools of magic and break bills, something that I didn't realize was kind of bothering me until we were talking about it and sitting down here. The thing that, like, the magic stuff and not having defined thing is whatever. Like, that I can just deal with that. That's fine. If they want to define it, they can define it. If they don't want to define it, don't define it. I'm more mad that, like, why do we have this false pretense of we're all at grad school? And that seems to not fucking matter other than like twice where we're in a classroom. There's like 2 episodes where we're doing classroom stuff, and the rest of the time we don't talk about shit regarding going to school. We don't talk about any like due dates, any papers, any class. Like the Elliot or Alice and Quentin and Penny like took their fucking flight up to the Great White North and like fucked as foxes and then came back, and like
Yeah, that was the
then we
final.
just stopped caring about it.
Are we on summer break?
Like,
I don't know.
what- I don't.
This is giving me, teacher, we have homework. We need homework.
We do.
vibes.
What? We just need. I don't. It because I get that it's based on a book, and I'm curious how the book handles. Is more my kind of like not
Yeah.
frustration, but just kind of exasperation with this thing. Is like it feels like they wanted to say it's a magic school because saying that you're a school where people go to become magicians is like one of those big marketing check boxes that like get your book published or like
Yeah.
get your TV show greenlit because everyone's horny for fantasy where people go to schools.
Yeah.
And like, but then functionally we're all in a house and don't give a shit about school.
Maybe
were
that's
roommates,
all it was,
honestly.
though. Maybe they did just want to be like, yeah, it's Harry Potter that fucks, but I don't want to write that story, so let's move on very quickly.
And maybe they did. It's just weird that they chose that versus like there's a lot of ways you can bring adults together.
Yeah, absolutely.
To like have a group. You don't need it to be like it's school,
They could-
orientation, classes, and then fucking.
It could be in an
stop
apartment
running.
building.
It could be anything.
Like,
it could be
yeah.
a club. It could be old friend. It
Yeah.
could be 1,000 things.
Yeah.
You're the writers. You can do whatever you want. And I get this is based on a book, so my exasperation is coming in is like I am curious, and I know we'll never get to know if like school and college and grad school in the books is a more sort of proactive thing.
I'm
than
not
we're
even
doing
sure
in the
we
TV
return to
show.
the school in the next couple seasons.
I
I
don't
feel
think it would matter.
Elliot cannot, as of right now.
Yeah.
Unless they write their way out of it.
Sure. I said as of now, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Break Bills Antarctica or whatever. Why couldn't we have a Break Bills Fillory?
You start
Yeah.
sending
Oh, just make a-
teachers to Fillory.
Yeah. Would you all be legitimately surprised if we go the entire next season and never say the word
No.
school or class
I
again?
honestly
Would not be
legitimately thought that we just are not going back.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
maybe it's just done. Did they cancel all of it?
I think we will, based on the whole 3rd year mystery thing is still outstanding.
We sent the guy back. We solved
I
it.
still
The
think he's a
one guy?
I still think he's a
The
monster.
rest of them are dead.
Do we know what happened to them?
Yeah,
were all killed by
got
the
killed by the
beast.
beast, and then
Oh,
she
I
was
think I missed
trapped,
that.
and then he was
Okay.
the last one. Then we sent them back. We solved that problem.
I still don't trust that one guy.
I still don't trust him
He's.
either.
I know. I wanted to keep my eyes on him, but we didn't.
Yeah, he's
so.
gone. We're gonna get back, and it's gonna be something fucked up's going on at the. At,
God, I hope not.
Rick
But
Hills.
like, really, like, what are the chances that guy just like happened to live?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
What is
Come
that?
on. If the beast wants to find you and you're literally in the beast's domain and you're just a guy who
You're
likes
just clever
like
enough to
Mortal
be eating
Kombat,
carrots.
So you think he's gonna be villain number 3?
I kind
I
of.
So
think
what was the
so.
trauma in his past that led him to becoming a villain?
All of his friends being murdered.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah.
I do believe that
And he
part too.
can't eat his favorite vegetable anymore without taking harsh ass trips.
But like, yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, that's all I have to say about the school stuff. It's just weird.
It's very weird.
Like, if you're gonna set a premise, play with the premise. If you're gonna ignore the premise, why do it?
Well, here's the thing with grad school. It's just like, yeah, there is not.
It's
I mean,
all
like, you go
independent
to
study
school,
or
but you're
whatever,
not
I
doing
guess.
like, you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
kind of shocking they live in dorms if they're going
Yeah.
to grad school, right?
yes, it's really rare. Really rare.
But then they also have like houses too, which is like kind of dorms, but it's
Right.
also like it just looks like a house.
Right. Like that's what I'm saying. It's so strange. Like it could have just been a city. Like it could have just been anything
Also,
else.
there's just the one. It's the physical kids' cottage. Where do the other kids live?
Yeah.
Do they have their own cottages?
Can we
never
see
see
them?
them.
Can we go to like
They have one
house
set.
parties
Like,
with others?
Yeah, and,
magic.
And I'm sure a lot of this is like cut for time from
Oh,
the
sure,
books or
I'm
whatever.
sure.
But like they set up this like Harry Potter, like the different houses or whatever.
I will say we did see the psychic one.
Yeah, for like
Penny sees it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't see it, but
Yeah.
Penny definitely sees it. We've talked about it because it was like those rooms, it was like isolation rooms or whatever, and people were crying.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a weird emotional spa.
Yeah, so there was that.
Yeah.
So like we did see a little bit of it,
a little bit.
but I
Yeah.
don't think we're gonna go back.
I don't think we're going.
I think we'll go back.
Who needs school?
Do you think we'll go back? Your last one. You think you're gonna go? Okay, 2 4 2
Like
against.
I don't like. I mean, whether we'll be in class is one thing.
Sure. I think we're going back to Earth. I don't think we're
Yes.
going back to status quo.
Do you think they go back to attending grad school?
Well,
Yes.
here's the
And I
wild
don't
thing.
think so.
How does time work in this world?
Oh, it's been like
That's
years,
true.
right, or whatever.
So
we
we're
don't know.
going to go back. I would imagine, like I can
Months,
imagine
probably?
a world.
because well, he was 2
But there's-
weeks and it was like 2 years.
but there's
basically.
also
It's like
time
weeks a
travel.
year. Yeah, it's true.
That's true. I forgot
Again,
about the time travel.
Who the fuck?
But also, Fillory is not the same as the Fountain World too.
That's true too.
because the
yes.
kids come in and out of Fillory and they're still kids.
Yeah.
True.
That's fair.
Yeah.
True. The fountain world, the in between spaces,
Is-
The Netherlands.
That
the
is-
Netherlands
the
is where time
Netherlands.
is wibbly.
Distinctively not the Netherlands.
But we weren't there that long.
No,
so,
no.
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you had any predictions, but you had a whole bunch.
We did.
Yeah, we did want to talk about those.
Any
So
other
third
called
villain, and we do or don't go back to school. The big predictions.
anyone want to make a big called shot for season 2?
I'm gonna get my hands back.
That's not a big cult shot. I feel
I'm
like
getting
that
them
is-
hands back.
I do think so.
Are they going to be your hands or new hands?
Both.
I feel
That's not an answer.
I'm gonna
One of
I'm gonna
each?
Deadpool it.
I feel like there's a non-zero chance.
You're gonna have two
Alice
sets of
is
hands.
dead.
I'm gonna grow them back.
Oh, you think the owls
Oh,
might
you think you're
die
going to
here?
grow back hands?
We'll grow back hands.
Okay.
The last time we saw that
Yeah,
same
she's-
blood on her mouth effect.
Oh, you think Alice is dead?
there's a not? I'm saying it's probably a
No.
25% chance she's dead.
Okay.
No,
I don't think it's as. I think it might be a little bit less than that, but it would
get what
be a killing off a character at the end of a season. Is
She's
a
the
thing
one
that
you'd
you
kill,
could do.
though.
She is the one that you would kill, 100%. She's the one.
I just didn't feel like
Can we see
Deathy
the
enough?
season 2
the Blu-ray
Blu-ray
cover.
cover?
Huh?
no reason
Maybe
why.
next season.
Okay.
It didn't feel deathy enough.
I will say, by the end of season, I was gonna say season 2. By the end of the show, I don't know. I think there's gonna be not at the end of the show, but somewhere between now and kind of the beginning of the third act of the whole show. I don't know how many seasons there are. One of those people on the cover of the DVD will be dead.
Okay.
Oh, this is like one of those Fox teasers. One of these characters
Yeah,
will be
die.
dead.
Right. Put your bets on who killed Mr. Burns or whatever.
Okay.
I don't
I like
know
it.
if this is necessarily a prediction as much as a hope. I do want to see effective, regal, kingly Elliot's vibe where like the beast has left Fillory and he's just leans really hard into we have a new like we're funding the farmers to kind of bring back agriculture. We're reinvesting in our roads and infrastructure. We're like tithing the kingdom effectively. We're like, I hope that he leans in, and he still is going to be wearing fucking all gold and shining, shimmering, and he's going to be as sort of like,
Do you think he gets a crown?
and like it's going to be gaudy and audacious, but I think he's going to give a shit about like being the ruler. So like I hope that is what it happens with
Because
him.
he never seemed to care about Fillory, though. Like, of everybody like talks shit about Fillory except for Quentin. But even then, everybody kind of got on board when we're like, oh, it's real and everything. Except Elliot never seemed to be like, oh, Fillory is this magical place that I should care about.
No, but he remembered the parts from the books.
Yeah,
He
you're
did.
right.
He
But
did.
and I
They
think-
did pull that up.
I think Elliot also has this thing that he calls out about Quentin really early, where he's like, I don't remember the exact words, but basically Elliot has a soft spot for like kicked puppy guys.
Sure.
And like if he goes to Fillory, that feels like it has been a kingdom that is a kicked puppy by a monster.
The kicked puppy kingdom.
The kicked puppy kingdom, and he can go in and he is given he is literally forced into a situation where they're like, you are responsible for this now. I don't think he drops the ball on that. And I think that would be a good arc for him, and I think he would fit well into that role.
I think this is this lines up perfectly with what I think is true, which is like I do not think that Elliot is returning to Earth.
Yeah, I hope not. And I hope
do
that's how
not
it
think
goes
that
with
is
this.
happening. I think that is. I think that.
I mean, he
he's
has
in
2 books
Fillory.
about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's done. I think he's gonna.
I
only
think
be in
Earth
Fillory.
Elliot's done.
I
Or
do
maybe
think
we
so.
split, or maybe Elliot gets like, maybe Elliot does come back,
We
but
get
like,
an Elliot Golem.
Undoppelgang.
yeah, maybe we doppelgang it, like make a golem Elliot or
That's why
whatever.
there's 2 of them, because one's
Yeah.
on Earth and one's
One lives
Fillory.
in Fillory full time, like finds a ultimate source of magic, and I duplicate myself so I can be both things. It'd be fun.
We just send the trauma version of you back to Earth.
Elliot finally goes and fucks himself. Could be a
That
thing.
would happen.
There
He
is a
would, yeah,
higher
of
chance
course.
of that happening than Alice dying.
Yeah,
It's
once
almost shocking that with as much time travel as this show has had so far, nobody has fucked themselves.
Elliot would be the one to try. If
That
anyone
is
here's going to
a-
do it, it'd be Elliot.
All right.
Wild sentence.
I think that's enough.
I think that's
my
enough.
call job
Hey,
prediction.
you gotta end this fuck. It's getting off the rails.
You're
So
the one
good.
that ends it, bro. Go ahead
Oh,
and
yeah,
end
that's
it.
my job. I'm your host, Mike, signing off. To left me as always.
It's Dasha.
In front of me as always.
It's Colin.
Right here, right now.
Brian.
Creeping in the background often.
Producer James will see you in season 2.
Bye forever.
For more information, go to popculturerollcall.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Our new theme provided by Stephen Rossbach. Find him at StephenRossbach.com for more of his work. Join us next week for another episode of Pop Culture Roll Call.